Yes, and there's great things coming. And the
Without food, nothing works, right?
yeah, parties are no fun without the food.
Okay, go on.
So, I'm leaving.
First of all, I want to thank you all very much for coming out and helping to celebrate Mayor Schneider's time in office. You braved the weather, and I know that she certainly appreciates it, and also everyone who helped to organize this also appreciates that. So thank you very much for coming. Okay, so how many of you, by a raise of hands, how many of you enjoy a good, solid Shakespeare play?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. All right, excellent. Well, Hamlet is often regarded as one of Shakespeare's finest plays and maybe the longest play. This play literally has 30,556 words in it, so it is a very long play. There are theater groups who have been known to put this 5-act tragedy on for about 4 hours. Others have taken maybe 2. I don't know how they did that. They must have cut corners. I don't know. That just shortchanges you, the audience. So the players are feeling very proud about the rendition of Hamlet that we are dedicating to Mayor Schneider. And we feel that this should take about 3 hours. Now you kind of understand why I felt it was important to have a seat. Can you imagine standing the whole time? That would be terrible. That would be too much.
We interrupt the celebration to bring you breaking news. Global news reporter Lindsay Steinbrink is live at the community house. Lindsay, what's the latest?
But we've got a play to put up. What is
Good evening. Thanks, Beth. Rumors have been swirling for years that the legendary Mayor Karen Schneider has been an extraordinary mayor and should be found guilty of that tonight. She's received a summons and we expect her momentarily. Fortunately for Karen, one is presumed innocent until proven guilty in this great country. Unfortunately, she has drawn one of the most mean-spirited, egotistical, pompous, I could say some other words, but there's some children in the room, judges, to rule over this presiding court case. I'm thinking, I see the judge in the back. Is he making his way into the courtroom? I'm looking for the judge, Judge Hangman Charlie Marston. Here is he. I know you're here, Charlie.
You got Karen up there? Is Karen up there?
Judge Hangman.
I think I see the officers are about to arrest Mayor Schneider.
Oh, here comes the judge.
All rise. This court with the Honorable Judge Charlie Marston presiding is now in session. Do all parties affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please nod yes. Yes. You may be seated.
I'm sorry, but we're missing our defendant.
First of all, we need to have the police arrest.
Pink handcuffs?
Thank you. Unlock her. She will now be papers. Yes, for your Please be seated. This court now comes to order.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here this evening to deal with a very important problem here. With the court now in session, I will begin with the following opening statement. In the court of public opinion, the image of a community like Gates Mills is of great importance. One of the most important aspects of creating this image is the deportment and actions of the elected officials, especially the mayor. When the defendant is brought before me with charges, it is my duty to determine if the defendant is guilty or not. The prosecution will present the charges and may bring forth witnesses in support of the allegations. The defense will then have the opportunity to deliver arguments as to why the previous allegations are without merit, indicating that the case should be dismissed. At the conclusion, it is my duty to determine if said defendant is guilty or not, depending upon the facts and whatever mood I might happen to be in at the time. Bailiff Marcia, what is today's case?
Your Honor, today's case is the villagers of Gates Mills accusing their mayor, Karen Schneider, of being an extraordinary mayor for 8 years, and prior to that, in the last 20 years, have been a very engaged and well-respected councilperson.
Prosecutor Turner, would you please present your case and your witnesses?
Thank you, Your Honor. We're really delighted. The prosecution is delighted to have you as the presiding judge tonight because we know that you're going to come up with the right verdict of guilty. Now.
Well, I want to say that this weather, I usually blame this type of weather on Mayor Schneider, but now I got to go after Simborski instead.
So, the prosecution is prepared to bring forth witnesses who are residents of the village to attest to the fact that this defendant, Mayor Karen Schneider, is magnificent. And I mean wondrous and magnificent. And so, we've gotten a lot of testimony, a voluminous testimony from these witnesses. But in the interest of time and weather, we've asked them to boil it down to the most salacious facts. So, prosecution is going to call its first witness, Mr. Bob Reitman. the village tax administrator. Would you please take the witness stand?
Yay!
Everybody knows that the job of the tax administrator is to oversee the collection of monies that are used to maintain the roads and the facilities within the village. We have had great success with this, but unfortunately during the tenure of the defendant, there were people who meddled with that, who raised money independently, got grants that weren't involved in the taxation of village funds, but were used to improve things. For example, the village clock was something that was funded without tax money. The Marston Park was funded without tax money. And the same is true of the walkway from the bridge to the center of the park and many other services that were provided in the village without cost to the village. This defendant is clearly guilty of those crimes. And we call upon the court to find her thus and to appropriately impose a judgment of guilty.
Thank you very much, Mr. White. You know, judge and jury, that's probably enough to find this defendant guilty, but there's more. We have more witnesses who want to come forward and testify to their experience dealing with the behavior and the deeds of this defendant, Mayor Karen Schneider. Our next witness is Mr. Clark Langmack. Please take the witness stand.
Thank you, prosecutor. Your Honor and esteemed jurors of the village of Gates Mills, I can show beyond a shadow of a doubt that this Mayor, Karen Schneider, is one of the most extraordinary and wonderful mayors the world's ever known. To begin with, she premeditatedly chose to follow the path of previous mayors in Gates Mills by always looking for ways to bring betterment to the village and its residents. This is totally antithetical to the path taken by too many municipal mayors collecting meager to sizable pay for paltry to audacious service. Instead, Ms. Schneider accepted no pay, no financial benefits at all, in exchange for providing tremendous, selfless service to our community for decades, and by consistently looking for ways to improve the life of every Gates Mills resident. I can speak personally about Mayor Schneider's contribution to fun, enjoyment, and betterment in the life of Gates Mills. To start with, during the extremely troubling times of COVID, she helped pave the way for activities that could not be found elsewhere to continue in a safe, new, and inventive way here. This evidenced by the 4th of July parade made mobile and our virtual 4th of July presentation on the online. She also contributed to Safe Distance Halloween and many other events that kept us going through COVID in a safe manner. And why? Why? Because she is an exceptionally wonderful person and was a fantastic mayor. We just heard from the Honorable Mr. Reichman of her skills to lead, love the village in ways beyond the fun, but in saving money too. She has repeatedly found ways to get funds and make projects happen without increasing taxes and without putting the burden on any of the Gates Mills residents. Rather, she sought ways to include all the residents in opportunities for enhancing our tennis and pickleball programs, and to bring to fruition the most beautiful Marston Park and the village clock. All the evidence here shows that she played a significant role in getting grants, monies, and finding outside sources of funding for these projects and for providing lighting for the tennis courts and for improvements to this community center and technological. That kind of technology we can do without. Technological.
I agree with it.
as the defense lawyer.
And he's not giving you the hook. Keep going.
Technological improvement throughout the community. I believe we have a village resident here, Mr. Tim Richardson, who can provide specifics on one case whereby a beautiful boulder was procured at no material cost to the village for attaching a plaque honoring our former mayor, Dan Coster. Mr. Richardson, can you tell us about that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Well, there was a stranger at a door one day. I was out of town on business, and my son came to the door. We have a place, a little homestead up on the corner of Battles and Timber Ridge, and my son goes to the door, and he describes what he saw as a community service, a gentleman in some kind of service costume or uniform, I guess that's what you call it. And so he opens the door, not knowing who this was, and there was a gentleman by the name of John Pata, lo and behold, that was there. And he goes on to say that he's out hunting for a rock, is what he told my son. I don't know if this is a daily thing, whatever, but my son was listening, and he said that he wanted to build some kind of a plaque, memorial type of thing to honor the former Dan Coster, the former mayor. And he went on to say, he tells my son this, he says, you know, with the price of boulders skyrocketing these days, we really need you to donate this rock. And, you know, let's save some granite here. And so my son, you know, he's just kind of laid back saying, yeah, no problem. He tells this to the rock whisperer, John. He's like, yeah, take our rock. And then he's like, rock on, dude. John goes on his way and off to the backyard. Hang on, Your Honor. Time out. I must have stepped on a couple of times. This is really annoying. Sorry about that. Let's get back to the story of the boulders and blemishes. So, my son forgot to mention this to me, that he had given away the rock. Well, I didn't find out until I get the call, and someone from the village, a nice lady, called and said, there's going to be a dedication. I want you, you know, we're going to have some festivities. Thank you for donating the rock. And I'm just like, the rock, okay. Like, you know, thinking that there's some, you know, got the wrong number, got the wrong person. But, you know, who's going to turn down 3 horse viewers? So I get off the phone, I go to the family, I'm like, does anybody know anything about this rock? Did we donate a rock? And then all of a sudden the light comes on in my son's head, and he says, you know, and he had this light bulb moment. He's like, oh yeah, I was kind of doing that philanthropic thing you taught me, Dad, and I just gave away the rock. And we had no idea the weight of this decision until we, after the 4th of July parade, we all walked over to, you know, get our hot dogs and stuff, and we see, that thing is huge, that's a big rock. And I had no idea, I still don't even know where it was exactly. But anyways, on a personal note, and this is pure speculation, Your Honor, but I think that Mayor Karen, I'm getting all choked up here, Mayor Karen should be inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame. For her extraordinary frugality. I mean, she's not just a former mayor, she's a rock star in budget management.
Thank you, Tim. I think we've heard enough to find our mayor is guilty of being a wonderful person, an extraordinary and a fantastic mayor for the last 8 years. And what's more, I have irrefutable evidence that it was the judge, yes, this hanging judge, who authorized the removal of Mr. Richardson's rock with only the approval of his son.
Bailiff, recorder, please strike that last comment from this evening's presence.
Well, I think we've proved our case without a shadow of a doubt that this is the most wonderful person and fantastic mayor. She's just the best. Our judge? I'll leave that up to you.
Thank you, and Tim, for your testimony. I think you took it over the top, right? Your Honor, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I think the prosecution has demonstrated beyond a shadow of a doubt that this defendant, Mayor Karen Schneider, is guilty of leaving a legacy of caring for villagers, for staff, for fellow leaders, and for surrounding communities, and that she should be awarded, that she should be given the maximum award allowed by law. So thank you for your testimony, and good luck, defense.
Very interesting and very articulately presented by your witnesses. However, I understand that there are some precluding situations that may throw this into some doubt. And it is now up to the defense to make their presentation.
Thank you, Your Honor. We intend to prove that our client, Mayor Karen Schneider, without a reasonable doubt, should be found not guilty of doing an extraordinary job as mayor. And we have proof of such fact. I would like to begin. Dorothy, can you please tell the court something that happens yearly?
Yes, I can. Every July 5th, the town hall phone rings off the hook with complaints about litter along the streets in downtown. The service department spends hours cleaning up candy wrappers, unopened candy strewn all along the street. This littering is quite a nuisance, and it's gone on for a long time.
Your Honor, I submit to you Exhibits A and B. Bailiff? Members of the jury, I call your attention to the screen where you will see Mayor Karen Schneider single-handedly reaching down, caught, littering the streets of downtown Gates Mills.
Right.
I ask you, Mayor, not just 1 year, but multiple years. Is a law-breaking, littering mayor an extraordinary mayor? Janet?
Your Honor, if that wasn't bad enough, listen to this one. I answered a call from an attorney demanding to speak with the mayor about a traffic citation. I explained the mayor doesn't handle traffic citations, and she doesn't fix them. He was not happy. Where was the mayor, he wanted to know. I said, well, she's at home baking cookies. Residents who she learned were alone for the holidays. Have you ever heard of a mayor, Judge, from any municipality taking time away from mayoral duties to bake cookies for residents? I think so.
And, Your Honor, I know an esteemed judge like yourself believes in the importance of having a quality image. Do you not, sir?
Absolutely, we had that in our opening.
All right. Do you not agree that the mayor of the village of Gates Mills should hold herself to a higher standard then?
I submit to you Exhibit C, where the mayor was found in late October, right outside these doors, on a Halloween night, dressed as a clown. Our mayor was a clown. I'm sorry.
And I present to you Exhibit D, where our extraordinary mayor was seen behaving in a manner that would not be considered very moral while attending a meeting, riding a tricycle.
Your Honor, the defense feels confident that we have proven to the court that Mayor Schneider is innocent of doing an extraordinary job as mayor, as she is currently charged. The defense rests, and this case should be dismissed.
No, she's guilty.
Those are some very convincing allegations. And appearances of riding around on a carousel. So it is my decision now to determine whether Karen is guilty or not guilty. And quite frankly, I can't make up my own mind, so I'm going to have to call upon the jury out here to cast your vote. So those of you who think that Karen Schneider is guilty of being an extraordinary mayor, raise your hands and say aye. Aye. Mayor Schneider, we find that you have been found guilty as charged.
Why are you not asking for a not guilty? Please.
You're out of order. We find you guilty as charged, and I now am going to turn over this to our new mayor, Steve Szymborski, who will come forward with a proclamation.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have asked, the prosecution has asked for the maximum award that aligns with the guilty decision just rendered by this jury. Shortly, I will be in a position to impose that consequence upon the mayor. But first, let me thank all of you that served today at this wonderful play. All village organizations have been involved for the last 3 months in planning farewell activities for Karen. This is the culmination of all that work. Community Club, thank you very much for tonight's affair, for the food, the refreshments, the setup, the meals, etc. Garden Club, thank you Garden Club, thank you for the centerpieces that were made by 6 or 7 of the individuals here. Improvement Society, thank you for the sponsorship of this evening. Members of the Land Conservancy, the Players, the Historical Society, essentially all these organizations that formed Gates Mills were proud of putting this together over the last several months. And we have had fun doing it in secret. That's tough to do in Karen's operation because she knows everybody and everything, and so we feel a little accomplished just to have pulled this off. I want to particularly thank the staff of the Village Hall and the departments, the department heads, the safety department, the service department, fire and police who've been instrumental in putting together this evening. And particularly credit to 3 people who've authored this, Sandra Turner, Charlie Marston, and Jim Stafford. They developed a local script. Mayor Schneider, would you join me, please? Judge, would you join me too, please? Let's step down 1. So you've asked for the maximum sentence that we should apply to the guilty party. There will be 2 things that the sentence is. Number 1, she will need to stand in front of you and subject herself to hearing the reading of a proclamation from the village. And secondly, she will be the recipient of a unique and fitting remembrance of her time in the village. So this is a proclamation honoring Mayor Karen Schneider upon her retirement as the Village of Gates Mills mayor. Whereas the Honorable Karen Schneider has lived in the village of Gates Mills for 42 years. And whereas during those years she's been active as a member of numerous village organizations and chairs many of them. And whereas she has especially devoted her time to serve as the mayor and a council member spanning a record-setting 28 years and attending 336 council meetings. She's been instrumental in conceptualizing, planning, and executing the revitalization projects throughout the village, especially those in our business district, the street signs, the fire equipment, and the community house. And whereas she has set records in reaching out to state and local authorities and individuals to help finance these improvements, thereby avoiding the need to raise taxes. And whereas we further recognize her devotion to attract a new generation of young people to our village through her vivacious activities with our elementary school, the Easter egg hunt, Halloween parties, yes, even as a clown, numerous parades, and the development of Marston Park. And whereas she has performed all of these activities without compensation, thereby creating a tremendous example of volunteerism. Therefore, I, along with representatives of the village administration, members of the Gates Mills Improvement Society, the Community Club, the Garden Club, the Historical Society, the Land Conservancy, Friends of the Library, the players, and on behalf of all of you villagers, we do by here express our sincere gratitude and request that the southeast corner of the village green surrounding the volunteers clock be embellished and named to properly acknowledge your extraordinary contributions to the village. In witness thereof, I have set forth my hand and caused the village seal to be affixed this 19th day of January, the year 2024, Stephen Saborski, Mayor. I've almost completed my official duties. I'll turn this now over to Hanging Judge Charlie Marston, who will present Karen in remembrance of her time.
Dan, come on up. Yes, Dan, please come up. We wanted to figure out something as a little memorial gift and all for Karen. And we mentioned all of these 7 organizations who helped us finance this. So I'm hoping that maybe we might we do have Marcia Anselmo here from the Historical Society, Kathy DiVincenzo from the Community Club. Let's see.
Janet Christian Service.
And Janet, yeah.
She's here.
You want to come up? Janet, can you come up? Let's see. Lisa Reed, where are you?
And Jim's behind you.
Come on up. Yep.
Really, Jim.
Okay, he's here. He's here. This is not only is he Gates Mills Players, but he is also the new president of the Improvement Society. And then is your Gates Mills Players?
Yeah, I'm representing.
You are. Okay, great. Oh yeah, yes, I know you were coming. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, Linda Olecko from the Land Conservancy. So we were trying to figure out something that might be appropriate, and I had actually called Stan about a pretty wreath to put over your fireplace, and it didn't seem to be a very good idea. So one of the things that we didn't mention was the way that Karen, working with Marcia Anselmo and Mr. Saltzman, were able to refurbish and take down all the old signs and put up brand new road signs all over the village. And then they turned around and sold those old signs, and they got some additional revenues for the Historical Society of the village. Very creative on this. And then what happened was we discovered that there were a couple signs that were all ratty, and nobody wanted them. So we've decided to give them to Karen. So in the process, though, we took the old ratty signs down to Ken Roby, the village blacksmith, and we've had it made into a W. Smithson Broadhead original, the only one of its kind, fireplace fender to put in front of your house. Give me a fire.
Oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna. Yeah. All right. The Honorable Karen E. Schneider, from the Gates Mills Improvement Society, Community Club, Players, Library, Land Conservancy, Garden Club, and Historical Society, on this day, January 19th, 2024.
Oh, very nice.
Now, Mayor Schneider, if you would like to, you may have an opportunity to say anything.
I'm going to use a microphone. I'm not going to yell. Here, I got it.
Well, is it on? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I got a lot of thank yous. What a cute premise for a thing to be found guilty as opposed to not guilty over here on my defense team. Very cute. I'm thrilled, and I'm honored that everybody got involved and did it. So thank you to the Historic and the Garden Club and to Community Club and the Council and Charlie in general and Stanley and Improvement Society and Players and Town Hall coordinators and Janet. I told you, you've really outdone yourself. Anyway, thank you to everybody in the audience, all the people that were involved, and all our just residents in general. My law director, Kane, thank you. It's been a lot of fun. I'm still helping Steve, or I hope to be a help to Steve, and finish some things. It is a relief not to be 24/7 to be very honest. No, it is. It's an honor, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to do things in the village and hopefully still raise money. I've already applied for some more money. We need it. We're no different than any other community, and you've all paid taxes, so it's just kind of getting our own money back in my mind. Anyway, I thank everybody that's here. It's been an honor, and it's a pleasure. So thank you.
Now adjourned. Please, everybody, enjoy yourselves, and thank you for coming.
We interrupt the celebration to bring you breaking news. The Gates Mills Players' performance of Shakespeare's Hamlet has been canceled due to inclement weather. Yay!